Asterisk rally. What is it? Where did it come from? Where's it going? And how is it going to end? That is going to be the question we will attempt to answer today with technical evidence, of course. No conjecture here, or very little, but I won't be able to spare you some of my dry humor, perhaps. Alright, with that, let's get started. Today is Saturday, November 12th, 2022. And here is what we have for the agenda today. Action-packed review of Friday's action. Knowing when to sell. We're going to use Friday's action as a good example. Forecasting market direction. And predicting surges. We're going to play a little game of poker with that. And you'll see in a little bit what I'm referring to. Okay, so hang on. We have a good one for you. Okay, so on Friday morning, in the video I did on the market outlook, I showed on the left-hand side here the 1 hour chart, and I had asked a question at the time of how far down will we retrace to, right? Remember that? I didn't know. Nobody knows, really. We now have an answer. One way or another, we were going to find out on Friday. We basically retraced to almost the 23.6%. Right there is the wick that it went down to. Didn't quite touch it, but then it went up and did not look back. Okay? So, that answers that question. I was wondering, how far down are we going to retrace using, this is the Fibonacci, okay? Fibonacci chart. Right, so, okay, on the left-hand side here is TQQQ, and on the right-hand side is the VIX, okay? But actually, before we go too much into the details, I was actually able to record a real-time, short 60-second video. I want to play for y'all. At the time I placed the trades, and as we were watching this start to really surge, it was still, still had 2 hours and 48 minutes to go in the trading session. Here we go.
Yeah, I got in trade earlier, right at this point right there. Right now, I'm up 22.37%, but yeah, I got in right there. It was sneaky though. Little sucker came up, acted like it was a really strong back test, only to go up and then fail. Oh, you sneaky dog. So, but anyways, oops. Oh, there it is, real time. Here's the 5 minute. Here's the 1 minute. Of course, I look at the 5 minute. See, it's just going up right now. And I'm not seeing any negative divergence here on the 1 minute. See that? I'm not seeing negative divergence on the 5 minute. So we got a ways to go still, guys. So anyways, I just wanted to do a quick video on that, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, so in that video, at that time, I was up, oops, sorry, that's something else, not related. I was up about, well, 25% at the time. I ended up the day about close to 50% when I got out. How did I know when to get out? That's what I'm also going to answer today. Knowing when to sell. Okay? But let's do a kind of a quick recap. So zooming out, okay? So, overall, as I even stated in the pre-morning outlook, boy, there was bearish divergence in the MACD. Look at the R rate of change. This is the 5-minute chart. MACD, rate of change, RSI. Okay? It was going down. Yet prices still went up and up and up and up. Okay? So for now, I just want to point that out. This is the 1-minute chart, as always, pretty messy. Up, 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 up. Despite overall MACD going down, 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 down. Now, when we also look at the 30-minute MACD right here, okay, and especially the 65-minute MACD right there. Okay, here we go. Good example. it's going down, but it's flattish. Okay, so it's not losing a significant amount of momentum quickly. It's losing some steam, but it's not a steep drop off. Okay, and because of that, that still supports, an upward trend. That because even like right here, the 65-minute, and now actually here, let me go ahead and show you while I'm on this topic of the MACD across larger time frames. Watch this. Right here is the 130-minute. How's that MACD look for you? It's actually going up, right? It's kind of flattening out, but the overall trend is up. Here's Here's the MACD on the 195-minute. Flattening out, yes, but still overall up. Okay, that's why this rally won't give up yet. Yet. That leads into the asterisk portion of it. Okay, but for now, I am just going to just say the MACD larger time frames clearly supports the rally. Okay, this rally has legs. It does. Okay, and I'll be getting into more macro discussion a little bit later as well. Meaning I'm going to pull up the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour for you guys to really see. This bad boy has legs still. Okay, so you know, as you heard me in the video a moment ago, this was tricky. This bad boy, yeah, you pulled a trick on us. Okay, so on this is the 5 minute chart. It did come up. It did easily back test, right? That was a powerful back test because it didn't even come back to touching the line. Went up only to fail. Okay, that was tricky. I think that could have gotten uh, a lot of traders trapped. Okay, um, you know, when I look back, this trend right here, it's like, okay, you went down, came surging up, but you need to come down to a certain point to form what is kind of a wedge, right? So I can see what it's trying to do, but at the same time, I'm not surprised it retook. Okay, so it lost the back test here on the EMA 50 on the 5 minute, right? It lost it, right? This candle closed right through the line, but because of this powerful initial surge and then initial high, a strong backtest, it's no surprise it retook it and then boom, took off. It's just trying to do a little trickaroo on you. You see what I mean? It's no surprise that I would be surprised if it just went down and it just kept going down, right? So, I mean, that's really all that's notable about that. I mean, it just after it took off, it just took off. Okay, so that's the extent I want to cover Friday's action. Now, most important question is, when do I sell, right? Do I sell here? Is that the top? Is this the top? Is this the top? How do you know? Okay, that's an important question that every trader wants to know. And I would suggest to you the answer is, as I've been saying in previous videos, the answer all depends on the VIX. Okay, I keep going back to it because I firmly believe it. And this is what I mean. This is the VIX 5 minute on Friday. Okay. And you saw me do a previous video where yeah, every gain in the TQQQ is a loss on the VIX side. It is an inversely proportional direction, right? I showed that, demonstrated that in the previous video. How you know where the top is? I would suggest to you that if VIX on the 5 minute chart continuously fails to retake either the SMA 20 or the EMA 50, then the markets will keep going up. It will not fail. That's how you know. Watch the VIX all day on the 5-minute chart all day. See that? Zoom on in. Starting from the morning. Oh, look, it gapped up. Boop, took a crap. Came back, tried to back test. Buy. Okay. So this back test that failed right here is this move back up that succeeded here. And then it went kaboom. And that's it. Good night. Okay? So watch the VIX. Watch, see, all morning. It just failed. Fail, 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 fall, 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 fall. Now, here we go. It attempts to, naturally it should make a comeback. It's heading towards the SMA 20 line. But what happens? Inevitably, fails the back test. This rally is not over then. Therefore, by definition, when VIX fails the back test, you get to keep going up, right? That's just the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. VIX tries again, comes down, comes up, fails the back test. You get to keep going up. So these little red bars, here, here, that's VIX failing the back test. So the red bars and then successful movements up again, subsequent up moves, it is reflective of VIX failing. So I would suggest instead of watching whatever you're trading, TQQQ, SPY, QQQ, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter the security you're looking at. Instead of looking at your security, also pull up VIX side by side and watch and put the SMA 20 and EMA 50 on, right? There it is. EMA 50, SMA 20. Put it on your chart, on your 5-minute chart, and just watch that all day. That I would use that as a determinant of should I sell right here? Is it at this moment? If you're only looking at TQQQ and not looking at VIX, you don't know. It's like, ooh, is it going to stop here? Is it going to keep going down here like it did here? You see what I mean? You don't know. You don't know what it's going to do. You're just like, just throw a wing and a prayer. You know what I mean? Watch VIX. If it keeps, but you got to be patient. See what I mean? I mean, we're talking, that's 5, 10 minutes goes by. You got to sit there and wait 10 minutes. That's a 5-minute chart. But honestly, once you start to see this candle body go through the line, it's like, oh, uh-oh. You see what I mean? Because if it's strong enough, oh, it'll like this one come up. There's no candle body going back through the line. That means, oh, there's some power there. So clearly VIX is weak. Clearly, okay? Okay, now watch this. This one here is interesting. This is getting closer to the afternoon. Not late afternoon. That's late afternoon over here. It looks like VIX is floating up, and it is. Floating up, 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 up. You're like, oh, look, it's clearing. But this is the true back test. So we're talking about from the time it actually, let's say it goes over the line, goes over the SMA 20. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 minutes goes by. You're watching it. I mean, you could start to get worried like, oh, what's going on here? But look at this pattern right here towards the apex. Wick down, big candle down, big candle down. That means there's selling pressure. There's still a lot of selling pressure. There's selling pressure right here. See, as soon as this started to get to the line, it tried to push through it, boop, push back down. So it tells you, it suggests to you, and there's still some selling pressure pushing it down, especially this big old red candle right here, right? So once again, it failed the SMA 20 into the afternoon. Rally, you get to keep going. Despite MACD kind of losing some steam, flattening out. But remember, I just showed you earlier, the 130 and the 195, ooh, it's still strong. The MACD is. Okay? So what VIX was trying to do all day, let me zoom out. So it fell, 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 fell. I don't have the Bollinger Bands here, but it's basically on the outer end of the Bollinger Band, right? The outer end of the Bollinger Band is 2 standard deviations from the mean, which is over 90% of the data. So it's going to naturally try to flatten out, which is it's trying to do here, right there. But by come close to the final hour of trading, so it's finally flattening out to where the SMA 20 is flattening out, and so is the EMA 50 a little bit. But what you're seeing now is, okay, now that I got the SMA 20 to kind of flatten out, it's easier to overtake, right? As opposed to coming from behind, way over here, coming up, oh, I don't have enough left. I'm going down. Coming up again, nah, sorry. But, oops, oh, sorry. No, that's not what I want. I want to get back to, oh, great. I always gotta love how, now hold on a second. I want to show you the VIX because that's most important. But it's switched up on me. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Love how it changes on you like that. All right. Okay. Okay, now the SMA 20 is flattening out. It's easier now for the VIX to overtake it, right? It's just because it's flat. It's not coming from a 45-degree angle like it was earlier in the morning. Okay. Now, so 3:05 p.m., 3:05 p.m. It was at this moment in time the markets really started to tank. That's because not only did the SMA flatten out for VIX on the right-hand side, this is a huge surge up. This is to try to once and for all clear this SMA line that it couldn't clear all day, right? So you even tried right here before 3:05 p.m. Came up, 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 down. And because I see that line still going through the body, that's still a failure. So at 3:05 p.m., the last hour of the day, which by the way, I'm going to mention, there seems to always be something about the last hour of the day, especially when something, whether it's VIX or the markets, had been falling all day. So always be looking in the last hour of the day because that sucker, it matters. It matters. It's like it's been trying to all day flatten the SMA lines so that it can finally overtake it. That's what it's been trying to do. So there's something undeniable about the final hour of the trading day when there are big moves happening, whether you're talking about the security side, TQQQ, Apple SPY, whatever, or you're talking about VIX. It doesn't matter. Okay. So now at 3:05, it finally does the massive surge up and over the SMA 20 that it's been failing to clear the whole day, right? You see it even into the afternoon. Still failed to clear it. Okay. Well, guess where its next destination is? EMA 50, right? And it looks like it's like, whoa, oh, 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 look at that. That's what caused this. Okay. So earlier when I said, how do you know when to get out? So I would probably get out. I would look to get out when you see on the VIX, the SMA 20 is starting to flatten out, therefore lowering the bar, lowering the hurdle for VIX to get over. That's when I would start to think about getting out. Okay. You know, at this point, it's just a matter of preference. It's like, okay, well, it failed this. You could have gotten out here, right? Yeah, this is probably a good time to get out. That would have put you somewhere right around here. Okay, so see, but look, ultimately in the end, it looks like oh VIX is going on a run, but when you are patient, when you apply the rules of wait for the back test, this is the upswing, this is the breakout. Wait for the back test, and what happened on the back test? Down and failed. Huge candle down. That corresponds to the markets going back up, 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 up. VIX failed to reclaim the EMA 50 on the 5 minute. And if you remember yesterday, on yesterday's video, when I said, oh, yeah, the EMA 50 on the 5 minute on the first day of the surge on Thursday, oh, that was critical. It didn't claim that one either. It was that close to claiming it. Okay. And it tried again today in late, well, we'll just say it was a 305, 10, 15, 20, 320 ish. But look at this wick. Big old wick. Big old wick. There's another wick. It's pushing it down. Selling pressure. Okay. That gives you some idea that it's probably not going to clear it. Right? It's probably not. Okay. So, um, yeah, that was the end of the story. At the end of the day, towards the final 40 minutes, it tried to reclaim the EMA 50 like it did the day before, and it could not. So keep an eye on VIX, guys. The day it does clear the EMA 50 on the 5 minute, watch out. That means it cleared it and now it's going up. But until it does clear it, it's going to keep going down. Okay? So that's what I wanted to cover um, for Friday's action, and knowing when to sell. Use VIX as your tour guide. Tell you know when to sell. As long as VIX continues to fail the SMA 20, you can keep holding on to it. But as soon as it passes the SMA 20 and it starts heading towards the EMA 50, you're going to get dips like this. Boom. Okay? And so enough time passes and VIX has been falling or starting to build enough energy back in the MACD. Oof. I think when it finally does clear the EMA 50, it has the strength to do it. It's going to come with a vengeance. Okay? It will. Like it always does. You guys know VIX by now. This whole year, when it's coming, it's coming. So just be mindful of that. Keep it on your radar. Don't lose sight of it. But that's how I know when to sell. Okay? Okay. We got that. We got that. And I already showed you the, yeah, this is the 130 minute. Showed you the MACD. We got that squared away. Okay. Now, I'm going to actually show you, this is a precursor. This move is so strong that here, let me just show you the daily. It's already passed. Look at that. We closed the screen. It's already passed the EMA 50 and SMA 20. It's past it. You're like, wow. So, in a previous video, I said that 80% of the time, the data, you just need to stay within, for me, 5 minute, 30 minute, 65 minute time frames, right? 20% of the time, go over to the 130 and 195. We are now in the 1% of the time, daily and weekly. Now, if I have to go beyond weekly and get to monthly, that's 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 extreme power. I mean, it's already pretty darn strong. I mean, if I were to classify this as a hurricane, I'd probably put it like category 4, maybe even 5. Okay, something like that. I mean, okay. So let's get back to the weekly. On the MACD, it is inches from crossing over. Currently at negative 520, and the signal line. Oh, sorry. Oh no, actually, it has crossed over. It's negative 513, and the signal line is negative 520. It has crossed over. Okay, and look at clearly on an uptrend. Right here, you're talking about a higher low on. Oops, didn't quite draw that exactly, but that's okay. Here we go. Here, higher low on the RSI. No, 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 no. Okay. Now, where do I think it's going? I'm still on the weekly. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. This is the SMA 20, EMA 50 on the weekly. I think that's exactly where it's headed to. We are, as of Friday's close, 1.4% away from the simple moving average line, this gray line. Let me zoom out again so it's easier to see. This gray line, we are 1.4% away. That's not very far, guys. That's not very far. I think we are headed towards, we are going to try to claim, or the markets, not we. The markets are headed towards the red line, the EMA 50, 7.5% away. Let me draw you a little line right here, and I'm going to show you guys. I want to demonstrate something to you. See that? Okay, see that? I'm just drawing a trend line, right? Touches the top of that, touches top of that. Look exactly where the trend line and the EMA 50 converges, right? They converge pretty much right on each other. That is a significant line, guys. That's where I think the markets are going. The markets will likely pass the SMA 20 line, likely. I don't want to assign a percentage to it, but better than 50% because I think it's headed here. I think it's headed there, and I think that's where it's going to fail. Okay? So, see that? Trend line, boop, boop, converges perfectly with the EMA 50. And you know me and EMA 50, I love that line. Because if the VIX can't clear it, nope, it's not your time yet. And if the markets can't clear it, nope, it's not your time yet. That's where I think we're going. When do we get there? I don't know. How exactly do we get there in terms of the path? I don't know. We have to take that on a day-to-day basis. Okay? But that's where I think we're going. We are 7.5% away from that line. Okay. Now, let me just quickly get into the 1 day. The 1 day, let's look down here in the MACD. Yeah. See that? It's curling up. Let me just draw a continuation line. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think we're going to get it's a matter of time now. But we're first going to get through the 12.015 level, the gray level, right? Oh, since this is daily, the line is still relatively correct, even though the daily, the SMA 20 is below now. But I'm on the weekly. This is the weekly SMA 20 line. Okay, makes sense. We're not that far away. I think we're going to get it. And I'm going to show you some scenarios that I think is likely going to happen. How we're going to play that. How that's going to play out. But ultimately, we are headed up here, guys. Up there is where we're going. Okay, so daily, strong, MACD. That was the point I wanted to show that. The 4 hour, yeah. 4 hours firmly over the zero line right there. It's kind of curling because it's starting to kind of flatten out only because we are getting closer and closer to this. The 12.015 line, that's 1.4% away. It's kind of going to kind of flatten out. I think it's initially just naturally going to fail. Going to come down, consolidate, boom. Okay. Now, yeah, and I'll get into a couple of these patterns here in a minute. Okay. So That's 4 hour. You know, the 1 hour is even more powerful looking. Yeah, see, it's not falling down at a however way you want to draw this. It's just not a significantly downward angle that is falling. And on top of that, I mean, look at this. The RSI, there's some negative divergence, but that's not no, that's not significant. Something like this is significant. Oops, like that. That's significant. That's a huge drop off. This is not. It's still showing in the green overbought area. So I think there's still a lot of gas left in the tank. That's the bottom line. Okay, so let's get into some patterns. This is a screenshot I just showed you. 12.015 line, the 7.5 point line. We'll just call it that. Okay, here's where we are today. Oh, this is I can't remember what. Well, 5 minute chart. I just wanted to show you some granularity there. You know. Okay. First of all, I don't think we're going to fail at this line. I think it's 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 like I'm just kind of drawing out the possibilities, and then I'll point out which one I think is the most likely. So up, back test successfully above the line, and then continue going up, right? This scenario that I think is not going to happen, up, failed back test, try to come back up, hit resistance, and fall down. I don't think we're going to see that. We could see this one, up, resistance, rejection, consolidate just under the gray line, and then up. That's possible. Okay? Or up, back test above the gray line, consolidate, up again. Okay? So, you know, of these four possibilities, I'm tempted to say it's going to be this one. Yeah, I'm tempted to say it's going to be this one. Because as you see there, you saw the MACD kind of flatten out. You saw the 4 hour, earlier MACDs flatten out, right? So, and that's natural. It need, we've been going on a crazy rally the last couple of days. We need some consolidation, right? We've traveled so far, so fast. You need some consolidation naturally, right? So I think we're going to come up there, hit it, get rejected, consolidate, 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 and then we're going to keep going up. So that's what I think we're going to do. So come Monday, I think we're going to find that line. We're going to find the line, guys. We're only 1.4% away. We're going to find the line, but then we might take a day or two to consolidate, and then it's back on. Okay? So that's what I think. I think Sunday night, it's very possibility that futures opens up so that it makes the journey a little bit less cumbersome. Oh, it'll later backfill it, but not Monday. It'll backfill that gap that it left, but not on Monday. So that's what I think they're gonna do. They're gonna gap it up. They're gonna gap it up so that it's not too much more effort to get right up to the line. Okay. So that is where I think it's going. Okay, I'm using the weekly chart now. That's crazy 1% of the time, as I've said 80% of the time it's that, 20% of the time it's this, 1% of the time it's this. We're in the 1% of the time. I mean, if I have to go to the monthly, look at the monthly EMA, whoa, that's out of control now. Okay, so that's where I think we are going. That's my market forecast for the next steps, next direction. All right. Okay, so there's that. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything else. Okay, who wants to play a little poker? All right, and what am I talking about right now? What do you mean poker? Okay, this game of poker between you and the markets. How to predict when it's going to surge. I'm going to, yes, we're gonna run into some scenarios here. So you're ready for this. You sit down at the table, you pull up, you're playing at the high rollers table, right? And this is what you get, blinds. These are the blinds. Here you get a pair of kings drawn. Markets get deuces, right? You're like, all right, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Before I even see the flop, no, before you even see the flop, you're gonna go ahead and raise. You know what? I'm gonna just raise $100. I don't even see the flop. I don't need to see the flop. I've got a pair of kings, right? Dealer throws down the flop. Well, 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 what do we have here? Queen. Still in your favor. And I'm only going to call out for now. I'll just mention it. We'll see a chart on it soon after this game is over with. On 10/13, that was when September CPI came out. That proved to be a bear trap. Okay? You're feeling pretty good. You raise. You don't need to see. You raise. Market says, okay, that's fine. I'll call. I won't re-raise you. I'll call. Let's see the turn card. Well, well, well. You got two pair. Kings and queens. Markets on 10/21. Set another bear trap. Right? 10/21, that was that Friday when the Wall Street Journal came out with that article suggesting there could be a Fed pivot because there's going to be a debate amongst the Fed that, well, maybe these rate hikes are a little bit aggressive. Okay? And not only that, statistically, you now have an 80.9% chance of winning this hand because you got kings and queens, pairs. And out of the possibilities, if you get another king on the river card, well, that's a king high full house. Or if you get a queen on the river card, that is a queen high full house. Either way, you still win over the markets. So you have the odds in your favor, and you have everything. You have the momentum going your way, right? Or maybe not, because now you're about to go all in, right? You just look at your hand, you're like, oh, how am I going to lose this? Markets have been calling me, and I've been raising. So you go all in, right? So, are you ready for the river card? And here we go. Oh no. Of all the chances you had, the market still comes out on top. Sets 3 consecutive bear traps. 3 consecutive bear traps. Just when you thought you had it all. Okay? So, I'm going to go into, I show a lot of TQQQ, but this time I'm going to show you Apple. All right? Because everybody knows Apple. Okay. So remember, initially I said, how do you predict a market is going to surge? I've already kind of discussed this in various degrees in previous videos, but I'm putting it all into one here and making it fun because we're playing poker, right? This is 1013. Apple, right? Right there, Apple. As I've shown with NASDAQ, but the same is true with Apple, and you will find the same is going to be true with Amazon and any other big boys. It went down by 500 points. Okay, it went down by 500 points, came up and surged big time. What was the MACD doing the whole time? It was already coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom, 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 boom. Didn't look back. There was already bullish divergence in the MACD on 1013 for Apple. Even though, as you guys remember, boy, the markets have just been going down and down, grinding down and down and down and down and down and down and down. All the while, MACD was secretly coming up and up and up and up and up and up, and it took off. Okay, that is 1013. That's the first bear trap. 1021 Friday. This whole week, it started off Monday, and basically this is Monday. It was up. Everyone's getting all excited. By Thursday, it was the darkest because by Thursday, I specifically remember that everyone was bearish because it's basically like been going down the whole week. It was going up, but then it's down. Up, down, up. Oh no, only going to go down. By Thursday, in extended hours, on that Thursday, the 20th, Amazon and Apple cratered. This is Apple. See? So there's right here. That's what I'm talking about. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Meta, they all went down the whole week. But that Thursday night, Apple and Amazon specifically really tanked. Okay? But yet all the while, this is the I think it's the hourly MACD or the 30-minute. One of them. I don't Yeah, probably I think it's the hourly. 65-minute. Yeah. Look what the MACD was doing. This whole week, mind you, it was not only above zero, it was just flat. Just flat. It wasn't falling like on this day. That Thursday was horrible. You guys remember that? Big red candle, another red candle, right? So, but yet the MACD was like, no, I'm good. We're good right here. We're good. Why wouldn't it fall, right? Like it does here, right? Because I contend that Apple, just like the rest of the markets, TQQQ, it doesn't even matter. The big money already knew that Wall Street Journal article was going to come out, and it was flattening out, or also known as consolidating, above the zero line. It refused to go down, even though these are big red candles, big failures. But when you look back, it's making higher lows. See that? Right there. You're not making lower lows, you're making higher lows. The MACD also supports it. It stayed horizontally above the zero line, and then it, boom, took off. Right? Took off. Okay? So that's 1021. So that's 1013, it's 1021. 1110. Thursday CPI. Let's zoom out. You have a real good look at this. Okay, so this is when I think it was this one. Oh, maybe it was this one. That's when Jerome Powell came out after the 75-point basis point hike. He said, "We're not pivoting. In fact, we actually have higher to go on the terminal rate." Okay, look clearly. This is like crashing formation, right? Clearly, cool. So it comes down, but then look look at this. Look at the last leg down. This was the last week, actually. That is making a higher low. So, oh, okay. This day, this is when crypto, okay, when crypto was announced, the whole FTX, the bankruptcy, the buyout at the time, and eh, you know, the Black Swan, Lehman 2.0. Okay, huge drop that technically is still a higher low, but it is most definitely a higher low on the MACD. And what happened after that? Boom. I think the markets already knew that CPI was going to be down. It was positioning itself to surge in all of these instances. Well, they knew about the news that was going to come out on 10/21. They knew the CPI was going to be low because you don't position yourself like this for no reason. See what I mean? You just don't. Back on 10/13, it was already going up, 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 up. Boom. That was when CPI came out. And that's when Dow dropped 500 points in pre-market. Okay? So I think that once the markets already decide what they're going to do, the MACD tells you. Um, I showed this in a previous video that discussed. Here, hold on a second. See, that's VIX. IXIC. I'm going to show you one more thing. Yeah, I showed you on a previous video. The one that covers that says that we are nowhere near the bottom. I want to show you just one more example. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it's 2008. Sorry, it's this one. Hopefully, I might switch to daily if it can still go back that far. I think it does. I think it does. 17. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Okay, so yes. Here we go. Right there. Go up. Right here, September 15th, right there. You know, that's when Lehman Brothers announced its bankruptcy. Right there. And, soon after, it just craters. But, I, clearly the markets were already going down and down and down before that. See what I mean? It's like they weren't positioning themselves to boom, they're gonna rally. They knew the news was coming. These are huge bank guys. Who they talk to each other. If you guys go and watch The Big Short, you'll see it, right? These are billionaires. They talk to each other. They're telling each other. They're probably texting each other what they're doing. So they're positioning their money accordingly, and the MACD is going to reflect that, right? So, um, so yeah. Now I want to show you one more thing. Yes, before I forget, and then we can conclude for the day. Now let's go to the daily. Yeah, let's go to the daily. Okay. Yeah, let me zoom. Here we go. Remember this red line that I drew? 12,736 line that I think we're headed to. I'm just going to call some similarities. You see this? This is today. Today and Thursday and Friday of this week, this past week, right? See that? That looks pretty darn similar to something like this. This was back on May 26th. And here's the consolidation, 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 failure. And guess where the consolidation happened? At the red line that I drew. That also happens to be, well, this is the daily, but on the weekly, it's converging with the EMA 50 line on the weekly, right? Right there. They are converging with that trend line. But on this date, this is a massive failure point. Consolidate, 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 effectively under the line, right? You can see it clear as day, clear as day. Under the line, not over the line, under the line. Consolidate, failure. Now, this is the daily, okay? Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the 4 hour and your jaw is gonna drop. The MACD was already telling you in this, where are we at here? Oh, here we go, here we go. Right here. Let me see that? Look at the MACD on the 4 hour chart. I just drew that trend line. Closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to the zero line collapse. Okay? Ditto with RSI. Now you can see the divergence is happening. You can start to see it, but you could really see it on the MACD. That's why I keep talking about the zero line. And what happened when on the 4 hour chart, the MACD went below the zero line right here at this moment, right in time? That is curtains, ladies and gentlemen. See that? That's when the great fall happens. So this could have been seen long before. You could start to see it. In fact, how many days did we do this? Yeah, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trade, 2 weeks. 2 weeks of trading. You could have seen this thing coming a week into it. Like, you guys, MACD's going, it's going down. But people, traditional traders, would have seen this as what? You guys know. It's the falling wedge or a downtrending channel, and they like to attribute that as bullish, right? A downward channel or a falling wedge is bullish. But the MACD, in my book, gets the final say. So, I don't care if you think that's bullish or not. We're going down. Okay? So, yeah, a lot of stocks channels would just, oh, we're gonna draw this line, we're gonna draw that wedge. Oh, well, it can go either way. We'll see. No, it's gonna go down. Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's what I'm gonna be looking for. You know, every day, every single day, I'm gonna be looking at this as we approach. Ooh, sorry. As we approach either line, gray or red, I'm gonna be watching the MACD. What's the MACD doing? Right? That's the key. What's the MACD doing? I mean, if we can pass this line, which I think we will, and get up to the 1276, 736 red line, that's when I'm really going to be looking at the MACD. What is it doing? I think it's going to fail. I think it fails. Okay, let me zoom on out. Go to the weekly, 1 week. It's just because it's a little cleaner. Yeah, we're going to get there again. But like back in May, I think once we get there, it's either going to be just a sharp drop down, just kind of depends on the MACD and the RSI, honestly. So it's going to depend on all that. Or we could try to consolidate for a while and just gradually lose strength and then just waterfall down, right? Just depends. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. All right. So that is all I've got for you guys. Hope you found this session useful. It's a lot of material covered, but I hope it helps you in your trade. Okay, so we will talk to you guys. Oh, next time I do one is on. Oh, I'll just wait till Monday. Monday morning pre-market outlook. I think it's going to be an up day, and I think we're going to head right to that gray line, 1.4% away. All right. Talk to you again soon.